Honor Club, where honor is real.
Nobody here denies that you're a great wrestler. Nobody here denies that you're fitting to be a pure wrestling champion. But let's get one thing straight. Just because you defend your championship on 2 nights, just because you defend your championship in England, you still need to remember one thing. Your pure wrestling title means absolutely nothing next to the world title. So Doug, good luck tonight. And John Walters, in front of your hometown crowd, try not to choke here like you do everywhere else.
Wow, strong words from the world champion Samoa Joe, telling John Walters not to choke, and degrading Doug Williams and the Pure title, saying the Pure title will never be anything next to his world title. But I'll tell you what, Doug Williams has done a heck of a job of raising the prestige of that new belt. He won it July 17th at Reborn Completion. He then defended it on consecutive nights against Alex Shelley and Austin Aries on Death Before Dishonor weekend, and that's taking on the top competition right there. And then he went over to the United Kingdom and defended the belt over there, making it an international title, just like Samoa Joe did with the ROH title when Samoa Joe made it into the ROH world title. Doug Williams, a great job making the Pure title prestigious belt. The newest belt, in fact, in the wrestling industry right now.
If I were you, Jimmy, I wouldn't say to Samoa Joe's face that he made it just like Samoa Joe did, made it a world title just like Samoa Joe did. I wouldn't say that to him.
I'll be missing a few teeth if I do.
Boy, Samoa Joe, strong words not only about the Pure title, which, to give Samoa Joe a little bit of credit here, at least he's consistent. He's been saying that for months. He doesn't agree with the whole concept of the Pure title. Samoa Joe, one of the things that makes him such a great champion is he faces every card like he's the challenger. He is so intent on proving that he is the dominant and the supreme wrestler in ROH.
And he's done a heck of a job of that. And right now, Doug Williams and John Walters, the pressure is on John Walters. This is an athlete. We've been waiting for him to break through the next level. He's come close. Everyone remembers his Final Battle 2003 match against Xavier, but he's been frustrated in breaking through to that upper echelon. In fact, he himself has become so frustrated that he has promised, and that's a big word when you promise something, but he has promised to walk out of his hometown of Boston tonight as the Pure champion.
Well, on one hand, you would think that John Walters is going to have an advantage here because this is basically his home ring and his home crowd.
Whoa!
But Doug Williams needs to be conscious of his own shoulders and just, you know, a double-arm surfboard, if you will, a cross-arm surfboard, if you will, by Doug Williams. And now the reversal by John Walters. John Walters going for his own double-arm surfboard, cross-arm surfboard.
He reversed the necktie, went to the back of the knee to bring Doug Williams down, and now he's got it. But once again, you got to watch the shoulders. John Walters, he has his parents here tonight, his family, his friends, his hometown fans, all in attendance, and he wants to win the belt for them.
Now, Jimmy, you know, at first glance you would think that's a huge advantage, but that also puts an extra amount of pressure on you as well. Doug Williams isn't worried about disappointing his home fans. He's not worried about his mother's watching him lose. And those are the things that can weigh on you sometimes.
John Walters has definitely put the pressure on himself. Maybe that's what he needed to break through to the next level, though. I guess we'll find out. But if he loses in front of his family, his friends, after promising a title win right here in his hometown, I mean, you might not ever see him again in ROH. How could you come back and show your face again?
Well, Samoa Joe certainly didn't help by dropping that "don't choke" line on him.
Well, we know the history of Boston sports teams, especially the Red Sox. I guess that doesn't apply to the Patriots anymore.
Well, really, or the Celtics. I mean, but
when you think Boston sports, you think Red Sox and you think choke, and that pains me to say it, because I was a huge Red Sox fan growing up. And right now, though, we have a beautiful Muda lock. Well, both men trying for submissions early, and that's one of the tactics in these pure title matches, because, of course, you only get 3 rope breaks.
And Doug Williams won the title with the rope break rule. Oh, look at that, goes into the nose, hooks the nose.
And a back elbow, Williams gets out of it. That is right, it was reborn completion. It came down to Doug Williams against Alex Shelley in that mini tournament. Alex Shelley used up all his rope breaks, and Doug Williams used the ropes to apply an arm submission, a very unique move that you wouldn't see in a normal match. Alex Shelley had nowhere to go and had to tap. So one of the strategies you need to employ in a pure title match is to get your opponent to use his rope breaks. Because if your opponent has used up all his rope breaks, he can no longer use the ropes to break up a pin or submission. And not only that,
Doug Williams can use the ropes as a weapon.
Yup, you can use those ropes as a weapon. So right now, you want to get your opponent to use up those rope breaks. At the same time, if you are in a submission hold, the recipient of a submission hold, you might want to try to think of another way to get out of the hold. The easy way out is usually getting to the ropes, but a lot of times you might not want to take the easy way out because you might have to save those rope breaks till later.
Well, the 3 rope break rule really forces you to wrestle a more offensive match. You can't use the ropes as a defensive tactic.
And so far, both men are exchanging submission holds on each other, but no one using any rope breaks.
And one common opponent that both these men have had over the last few months is Generation Next. Of course, Doug Williams, winning the match with the title open, wins the match in finals against Alex Shelley, then has a great defense against Austin Aries.
And there's that rematch against Alex Shelley, too. That was an excellent match. John Walters has been at odds with Generation Next. In fact, they bloodied John Walters at the Survival of the Fittest show, and John Walters has been looking for revenge since then. As a matter of fact, the night that Generation Next made their debut, it was Alex Shelley making Walters tap in that landmark 8-man tag at the Generation Next show.
So somehow Walters manages to win the title here. He can really force the issue with Generation Next, because now he'd be in the driver's seat in determining what the matches, and kind of has a situation where he can kind of keep Generation Next from turning this into a 2-on-1, 3-on-1, 4-on-1.
Generation Next, they tried to take John Walters' spot and make their name at his expense, and they have not been successful yet. Although they do have gotten a lot of good hits, they have put John Walters down time and time again.
Both Walters and Williams so far earlier in this match, it looks like their number one priority is not to make a mistake. I think both men have a lot of respect for each other. Both men understand how dangerous the other one is as far as being able to come up. Big European forearm uppercut by Williams. Both men very dangerous in the fact that they can apply a submission hold from anywhere in the ring, both from an up position or a down position. Drop kick and a beauty by John Walters.
That was perfectly executed. Oh, and Walters now the stunner on the leg of Doug Williams. And look at the pain on the face of Doug Williams. The torture device. He has brought prestige to the title. But right now, John Walters is singling his leg and going right for it.
Reverse step over toe hold into the high bridge.
And that's a lot of pressure on the knee.
Williams has got to watch his shoulders here as well as figure out a way to break up that hold. All the pressure on the ankle.
Plus the tendons and ligaments in the knee are being stretched right now. That is working over the whole leg of Doug Williams.
And the higher that bridge gets, the more pressure that's putting on the ankle.
And there you see Doug Williams though going for a cravat almost. No, And he turned it over. That allowed him to turn the hold over on Walters.
What a great counter by Doug Williams. That's why he's your Pure Wrestling champion. I don't disagree with Samoa Joe in public often for obvious reasons. I think the Pure Wrestling title is a great belt, and I enjoy the competition.
And there you see John Walters, instead of taking the easy way out and going to the ropes, he opted to go for those back elbows instead and save the rope break. There's that big European uppercut. Of course, no closed fists in these Pure title matches.
A forearm can actually be more devastating than a closed fist if you know how to throw them.
Well, I should note it's no closed fist to the head or the face.
Double leg pickup, looks like he wants to go. Well, now he's going to try to turn that over into a sharpshooter.
Once again, more pressure on the legs of Doug Williams. And now Williams inching towards the rope. Will he use a rope break here? Trying to push his way out of it. And he had to go to the ropes.
Interesting, you look at that giant barrel that Doug Williams calls an upper body. John Walters trying to take the legs out from under it.
And Doug Williams was forced to use his first rope break.
Crotch hold and a lift by Walters. Now wants to position him.
And this is a submission on the leg.
He's got that leg blocked and twisting the ankle.
Very unique submission there by John Walters.
And it's also forcing all the blood to go to Williams' head as well.
That is a tough hold to keep on, as that's a lot of weight John Walters had to get up there. But he managed to do his damage with that hold. And now he's going right back to the legs in an Indian deathlock.
Doug Williams is already down one rope break.
And look, he's swinging those fists, and he can't do that. Todd Sinclair warning Doug Williams, if you do punch your opponent in the face, you will get a warning, and the second time you will lose a rope break. And if you're out of rope breaks, you'll be disqualified, and the Pure title can change hands on a DQ or a countout. And there you see Walters turning it over, and Doug Williams having to use another rope break. What an advantage John Walters has right now. He is up 2 rope breaks to none.
Now John Walters can really open up the offense.
Walters right back on that leg.
Doug Williams, the flat of the foot.
And look at that, Williams into the ropes again.
That's 3 rope breaks. Doug Williams going to try to go to the floor to regroup. Doug Williams obviously frustrated. John Walters, we talked earlier about the pressure of wrestling in front of your home crowd. It has obviously sharpened John Walters.
John Walters with a 3-0 lead on the rope breaks, and the ropes are in play for John Walters right now. Not only can Doug Williams not save himself from a pin or submission with the ropes, but John Walters can use the ropes to apply any kind of submission he wants.
And he's going to go right for it. Looks like he wants to drape that foot over the bottom rope. Going to drive his knee into the back of Doug Williams' knee. I thought he might almost try to grapevine the knee across the ropes right there. And there it comes.
John Walters did make Chad Collier submit at the last stand in a preview of the Pure Wrestling title when it was a 3 rope break rule match. Collier used up all his rope breaks, and John Walters got a Boston Crab in the ropes, made Collier tap. And Walters there, he just had a unique submission on Doug Williams using the ropes, and Williams fought out.
Doug Williams is probably the better striker of these 2 men. Heavier.
Desperation pin, not enough.
Well, and you still can't throw caution to the wind here, because Doug Williams is so technically proficient. He can catch a cradle out of nowhere, and he's going to catch Walters in midair. No, Walters reverses it. Reverse DDT into the back of the knee.
And that did damage to Williams as well as Walters. A desperation move by Doug Williams. The Pure Champion is in trouble.
John Walters trying to press the advantage. Look at the quickness of the big man, Doug Williams.
Doug Williams, he's going back, wrenching the neck of John Walters. He used cravats earlier in the opening minutes of the match. So Doug Williams has been working on the neck of Walters. Nice Northern Lights, cover! No. But Doug Williams, he will soften up that neck to set up the Chaos Theory. Nobody kicks out of the Chaos Theory. That devastating roll through into a German suplex.
Now puts him onto the apron.
And that's a rope break for Walters. And a blockbuster by Williams into the ring. A cover.
A mistake there by John Walters. I don't think John Walters quite knew where he was.
And John Walters has used his first rope break, though.
Well, he's still up 3-1 on rope breaks.
Yeah, that is a huge advantage, Mark Nolte.
And Doug Williams having a hard time maintaining any type of a vertical base.
And now he's going for that cravat again and adding a bunch of knee strikes. And there's an ace crusher, a variation of it. And he's going right to the neck with that crossface. And look at that. He brought Walters close to the ropes. He knows the ropes are right there. He is tempting Walters to use the ropes, and Walters does. And all of a sudden, it's 3 rope breaks to 2.
Doug Williams, so polished as a wrestler, refuses to panic. Even though he was down 3-0 in rope breaks, just kept wrestling his match. Notice once he got the opportunity, he focused his attack on the upper body of Walters, where his superior size and power would come into play.
And you know what? I'm getting a vibe in this crowd right now. These people have seen it before with the Red Sox. You don't think we're going to see Boston choke again, do you?
Well, Grady Little's not in John Walters' corner, so that's going to help a little bit.
I still remember 1986 like it was yesterday, sitting in my parents' living room outside of Boston. That was heartbreaking. And there's John Walters using rope break number 3. Neither man has any rope breaks left.
And this is gonna be it right here. Doug Williams.
As there you see the ropes are in play. This submission is perfectly legal. Oh, and a big forearm to the back of the neck, insult to injury. John Walters flailing with those strikes, trying to connect, trying to save himself, and he does.
And give Doug Williams credit. Doug Williams never panicked once he was down 3-0 on the rope breaks.
When he used that 3rd rope break, he went to the floor, get some composure, and now he went right after Walters' neck, and he caused Walters to use all his rope breaks, and the momentum is definitely back in Doug Williams' favor.
You've got a battle for the tempo here. Walters wants to wrestle this match on the ground and where he can go after Doug Williams' legs. Williams, the stronger man, the better striker, wants to stand up and use Oklahoma side roll. Walters kicks out at 2.
Boy, this crowd is just almost deflated. It's almost like they know what's going to happen.
Reverse waistlock by Williams. Now runs into the boot of Walters. Walters comes up.
Oh, a dragon!
Suplex, he's got him! Walters manages to roll the shoulder.
You notice, though, Doug Williams was not able to plant both feet because that one leg is bothering him too much.
The crowd trying to rally Walters. Williams almost taunting the crowd here a little bit.
Let's see if Doug Williams can follow up. That neck has to be screaming in pain on John Walters. And there's that high knee. I don't know if that's what Doug Williams wants to go for. Scores with that suplex.
He's trying to get some blood circulating into the leg. Now Doug Williams, this is not his forte coming up to the top rope. John Walters catches him with a drop kick all the way to the up on the top rope.
Maybe Boston won't be heartbroken again. Huna Karana, no, Williams holds on. No, a roll through by John Walters. Small package by Williams. I thought that might have been it, and now this crowd, they're sensing John Walters could pull this off. Lung blower to the face. To the back.
Hooks the foreleg.
Oh, and this crowd thought that was it. Can John Walters bring the championship home? He's got Williams down. 2 count only.
Now it's John Walters showing his composure. After the big rally by Doug Williams, Walters had a chance to fold but did not do so.
Oh, Walters sent into the corner though. Here it is. Chaos Theory. Once again, Doug Williams unable to plant both legs. The leg bothering him too much, and that allowed John Walters to kick out of the Chaos Theory. John Walters just did the impossible.
Doug Williams, did you see the look on his face?
And look at Walters go right to the knee. The knee obviously bothering Doug Williams.
Double leg pickup. Catapults him over the top rope. Williams trying to skin the cat. Walters there waiting for him. Walters is going to hook the leg.
This is legal. All the rope breaks are used. He's got the leg submission on.
We have a new champion.